we'll just go from here. Hey, everybody, I'm James. That's
Hi,
Chris,
I'm Chris.
and,
Hi, I'm Tracy.
that's Tracy. Well, welcome back for another edition of Fuel Stop Chats. If you haven't listened before, maybe go back to one of the other episodes entitled Tracy Charles, and this is Tracy. So, just to get you up to speed with who she is, she's a woman that fell in love with motorcycles. Uh, how old were you when you finally got your motorcycle license, Tracy?
I'm 48.
Okay, so there you go. When she was 48, got her motorcycle license and decided, you know what? I'm going to sell all of my worldly possessions, buy a GS, and discover the world. So Tracy is out on adventures. She's down somewhere in South America. We're not sure where, and we're going to catch up with her. So, Tracy, how are you tonight?
I am really, really good. I'm sitting here in Colombia at the Caribbean Sea. I love the mountains, but I've been in the mountains since I came back to Colombia, and I just wanted to see in the warmth and the sand, and cold beer always tastes better here anyway.
You know, it's funny because we interviewed Jack Reapy the other night, and he said about being in the Brazilian Witness Protection Program. And I have to think that you may have influenced that. I'm not sure, but I think you might have influenced that.
It's possible. He's written some funny little stories about me and like wearing fig leaves and whatever else in the jungle, eating lizards. He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
He's got that dry sense of humor. Yeah. I can't wait to listen to his podcast.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a burner. So you were trying to get your bike registration straightened out last time we spoke, and you were running into a deadline. You're worried about crossing borders. So what happened with that?
So they renewed my bike permit, no problem. It's good until August 25th. So they gave me another three months.
Nice.
Currently, I don't have a visa to be here in Colombia. So it expired on June 4th. I have applied. I know. So like I'm an illegal alien on the beach here. But I've applied for a student visa. I have enrolled in a Spanish course, which I desperately need, for 6 months. And apparently I'm guaranteed this student visa, but being Colombia, it could take another month. I applied for this back at the end of May. So it could be here maybe middle of July, but I have all the paperwork. If like in all my applications, if I do get pulled over by the police, hopefully that'll work instead of bribes. I don't know. Because yes, I was considering going to the border of Ecuador with a wallet full of cash, which I'm sure would have worked too, and bribing my way into the country. I was going to cry. I practiced crying. I had it all figured out. And then when I heard about the student visa, I thought, well, let's try and do it legitimately here first.
That's awesome.
But the borders are still closed. Yeah, it's really misleading down here because Colombia has said that they've opened all their borders, which they have, but all the other countries are like, no way, we're not opening with Colombia right now. So still in South America, all the borders are closed. Except for, well, you can fly into Colombia, which is what I did when I first came back, but the land borders are totally closed. And I'm thinking it's probably going to be the new year before anything down here opens up.
Wow.
Now, were you able to get back home to go see your daughter?
No, I had planned to go back to Canada this summer, but the process in Canada is absolutely insane. The government wants you to go to a government quarantine hotel, which costs you up to $2,000. So first of all, I have to pay my flight home. Then I have to pay $2,000 for 3 days at a government quarantine hotel. And then you can go home, and if you get a negative test, you can leave that hotel, go home, finish your 14 days quarantine. And then I'd have to book for a vaccine. And then in Canada, it was originally 4 months before you get your second shot. Now it's a bit shorter. And then I'd have to fly all the way back here. It was just too much money. And it's just, I don't know, I just thought it was absolutely ridiculous. Other Canadians have flown in the United States and walked across the border. But I have too much luggage because I'd be taking all my camping gear back home with me, my I'd be wearing my, my motorcycle helmet and my climb gear walking across the American Canadian border bridge. But it's okay. I spoke with my daughter, I spoke with my family and friends, and they understand. It's just crazy times. Things are starting to open, but the vaccine process down here, I think, is probably about the same as Canada. It's very, very slow. It's a very slow process. It's taken a while. And I guess they're waiting for the majority of the population or a certain percentage to have that vaccine before they start opening everything.
Mm.
So the important question is Amazon still delivering down there?
Yes, they are, as a matter of fact. And my daughter sent me a wonderful care package, and yeah, actually I have to order some camera parts. So I'm going to make sure that Amazon's still going to deliver to me down here.
The last time I was checking, you were posting on Instagram and Facebook. You were on a ride and you had a friend who was occupying some space that a car wanted to also occupy.
Yes. Well, last week or the week before or last week, I lost track of time. So Angela was supposed to be here with me. I've been staying with her and her boyfriend at a farm in La Ceja, just outside of Medellin. I was going there for Easter weekend only, for Semana Santa. 2 months later, I'm still there. I've kind of made it my home base, and I leave a bunch of stuff there and I take off and we go on rides. But Angela was supposed to be on this adventure with me. And we were an hour and a half into our ride to a town called Toulouse. Yeah, and this white car just decided it was just going to pull right over and smash right into her. I thought her screaming was the best sound I'd ever heard, because I knew she was alive. But the way her leg was, I thought she'd broken her knee and her ankle.
Oh,
but she has sprained it so bad, torn the tendons so bad that she's going to have to be off it alone for about 3 months. That's what they're thinking. So she's not going to be, it's going to be a while before she gets back on her bike. The bike was fine. Her boyfriend was able to ride it home. But yeah, it was crazy. And then later on the next day, I went back to Toulouse. I set back out for Toulouse, and there was another motorcycle crash, but this time the amount of blood on the road, I was just like, it was just bizarre that in 2 days I saw 2 accidents. But
oh man, that's scary.
yeah, but Angela, she's in good spirits. I'm sure in another few days or few weeks, she's going to be bored to death. She's going to be wanting to get back on that bike. And yeah, she's going to have to do the physiotherapy, the whole 9 yards.
But she's out of the hospital. She's back at home with her boyfriend.
Yeah, she's back at home. Yep, she's back at home with her foot up and one of those, like an air cast sort of thing that they put on. Yeah, no pressure on her foot. She's not allowed to walk on it yet. And I think she goes back to an orthopedic surgeon just to double check with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll probably give her some physiotherapy, and hopefully she could ride the back of a bike, I guess, in a few weeks, maybe, but not her own bike.
Rolling the dice there.
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
I think she'll be surprised. I mean, although I know as you get older in age, you don't rebound as quickly as you used to. I know when I think it was maybe 25, 26 years old, so much younger than I am now. When I was in the Army, I jumped out of a plane at night, and when I hit the ground, I heard a pop. My foot slid out underneath me. And when I looked down, I was looking at the bottom of my foot. So it completely popped out of the socket.
Oh my God.
And tore all the ligaments.
Yeah.
And then I stood up and put it back in socket, and then quickly fell on the ground in pain. But yeah, they just put an air cast on me and gave me a bag of Motrin and said, don't walk on it for 30 days. I was jumping out of planes in 30 days.
Tracy, some guys will do anything to get out of PT. I mean, any excuse possible to get out of PT for a month,
Well, yeah.
Well, I understand what James is saying, because I was telling Angela at first that, your own body, right? Like I've sprained my ankles so many times. Once you do it once and you do it, and the doctor says, okay, don't walk on it for 2 weeks. On the 3rd day, I'm walking on it, like gently. I'm not running a marathon, but I'm gently walking on it. It's all tensored up or whatever, and I'm walking on it. And then I'm walking on it without crutches long before I have to go back to the doctors.
Oh yeah. I had a broken ankle when I was younger, went to get it cut off. Doctor cuts the cast off and he finds hayseed and stuff all inside. He said, how did that happen? And I said, we had a couple thousand bales of hay to put up. It was going to rain. So what do you do when you're a farm boy? You put it
Oh.
up. Yeah. So, but now I don't heal like that. I know James and I had a bad sprain when I was in Mexico. Hit this super slick, snotty mud on top of hard pack.
Oh.
1200 GS went out from it rode me down the hill. And
Wow.
I was worried. I was worried about being in Mexico, trying to get back to LA to fly home. But the boots are great. They do serve a purpose. And we buckled that thing up nice and tight the next day, ate a couple of Motrin, and away we went.
That's exactly it.
I mean, it's even better if you can keep both tires on the trail and not slip off the trail. But, the rest of us were okay because we stayed on the trail, but Chris got a little wide and hit a fence and knocked off and went down through the puddle. And
2 out of 4 was okay.
Yeah.
Everybody had a knock that trip, but it happens. But definitely I'm glad to hear she's doing well, and
Yes.
hopefully she'll be back on a scooter soon. So that'd be good.
It could have been far worse. She had full gear. And the funny thing is that we zip into town to grab a coffee and it'll be running shoes and just tights and a light jacket. And we get into that bad habit.
Yeah.
Just into the town, it's like 2 kilometers and never gain. It's for me, back to full gear again, just goes to show you.
Yeah. What is it they always say about statistically it's within 5 miles of your home that most accidents happen?
Yes. Yeah.
So
yeah. And here it's really easy to become complacent because nobody wears riding gear. 90% of them don't wear helmets. Like in the bigger cities, they have to, but in all these small towns, they don't wear helmets. It's bare feet, flip flops, shorts, and a t-shirt. And it's really tempting in these temperatures, especially.
Yeah.
It's really tempting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Until you go down.
Yes. Seeing that last couple of weeks, I was like, no, full gear. I don't care how much I sweat, how much I stink. I'm wearing it.
So what's next on the agenda? You've got August, you've got Spanish classes coming up. So we'll be able to check in and see how that's progressing.
Yeah, it's my Spanglish isn't working very well for me. And the people that I meet that do speak both English and Spanish, they want to practice their English. So that's all we speak.
Yeah.
And I don't bother practicing any Spanish, but so I'm probably going to it looks like I'm being in Colombia for the rest of the year.
Oh, wow.
I will make arrangements to go back to Canada for Christmas or have my daughter fly out again to meet me here. But it looks like I'm going to be in Colombia for the rest of the year, and that's okay. These Spanish classes are online, 2 hours a day. I can still travel. But yeah, I'm going to stay along to see. I'm at this particular hostel until Friday, and then I'm going to head. It's about 3.5 hours further down the coast, pick another spot. I'm actually going to do some scuba diving here this week before I leave. And then I'm going to head back towards the mountains, I think, because somebody mentioned to me right now is really good whale watching on the Pacific coast in Colombia. So I might head to the Pacific coast before heading back towards La Ceja on the farm for a while.
Oh, that's fantastic.
that would be awesome. Get some good pictures of the whale.
Yeah. It's just that I think I would try and look at, I think I would have to leave my motorbike somewhere and take like a horseback for a day ride to the Pacific coast. I don't know that I can get my motorbike there, but it's something I've just been kind of kicking around for the last couple of days.
I just saw a fantastic clip today where 2 guys were snorkeling and a whale came up and kind of approached them. Did you see that? Where the whale had the fish hooks, the big giant hooks stuck?
I don't think I've seen that particular one, but I have seen one similar to that. That's crazy, eh?
And the whale, he was so just like, here, take this out of my bottom lip. And
Wow.
they got some phenomenal photos up, like super close to the eye and stuff of this whale. And they said it was like an otherworldly experience. So I can't imagine.
Wow. Yeah. It depends on the type of whale. I think I'd be freaking. Definitely not a killer whale. I'd be out of there. But so many other whales are gentle giants.
Yeah.
They're not out to eat us.
And smart too.
Yes. Dolphins are the same way. They come and ask for help if they're tangled up in nets or if they've got hooks in them. yeah, the creatures underneath the sea and the oceans are incredibly intelligent.
Well, when did you get started to scuba dive? Was that something you had done earlier in life?
No, I did it probably a year before I got my motorbike license. It was, I wanted to do everything I possibly could after Rick died that was on my bucket list or that I even considered doing. And yeah, one that I did, and I really, really enjoyed it. Yeah, I just love it. But it's also an expensive hobby, very expensive. Um,
Yeah.
it's, yeah, especially when, you know, I bought my gear, but to go to these places to go diving, number one, you want to pay for your trip. And when you get there, if you have to rent the equipment, and then the dives themselves are expensive.
Mm.
So it's, yeah, I call it my second ATGAT hobby. I need all that gear when I go into there.
Well, speaking of expensive, how's the maintenance and the upkeep on the BMW going? Are you everything's going good with the bike?
Everything is going super well. I just actually changed out a plug the other day that I had put my first tire plug in Baja, Mexico. That plug got me 15,000 kilometers all the way to here, and it sprung a leak. So I took it out, I replugged it, and it's holding. So there's a lot of tread left on that front tire, and I'm hoping to keep it for a little while longer. But other than that, it's just your basic. Oh, I had some. No, I think that was on the way to Medellin. I had some issues with the idle switch. The bike kept stalling, coming down some crazy mountain roads. But no, everything else has been really good. I can't complain about that bike. I think I'm gonna have to change my brake pad soon. I can hear them squealing. I'll have to take a look at that. But it's been just phenomenal. I have no complaints.
Now, is there a garage
Yeah,
for
or
you to,
dealers or anything like that? Yeah.
What's that? Sorry.
is there a garage that is like a community garage, or is it a dealership, or how do you get the parts? How do you get the maintenance done, the tools and everything?
Yeah, so I've got my own set of tools. I've got my own a couple of oil filters for the BMW, but I've also discovered those universal filters that have got the hex on the top that
Mm-hmm.
you can use. I've got extra brake pads with me. My daughter had brought them for me. So everything else I can kind of get wherever, but there is a BMW dealership in Medellin, which is not far from the farm, about an hour away. If it's something like the idle switch was, I definitely take it to them if I don't have a clue what it is. But for oil changes, brakes, tires, there's so many people that have friended me here in Colombia that do the work. Um, a friend, Angela, the girl that was in the accident, her boyfriend Juan, he owns the motorcycle magazine here, De Motos in Colombia. So he put like tubes on my bike. His buddy welded a bigger kickstand plate for me, and they just do it because they love doing it. It's so good. So other than being a technical issue, when I say that, I mean like computer wise or something, I take it to the dealership. But for everything else, just friends and yeah, people are amazing down here. They do everything for me. I'm getting really lazy. I don't do anything anymore.
Getting spoiled.
Big time, big time. Yes.
No, that's great.
How's the drones going? Are you flying those still and getting some good GoPro footage?
I am. I just put together a couple of more. Well, I like I said, I get lazy at the YouTube videos, but I put together a couple more. I've been trying to utilize the drone more. I'm getting a little more comfortable with it. I think part of the problem before was just I was always afraid that, you know, if I was somewhere and I wanted to just suddenly take out my drone, I was afraid, you know, the people were going to yell at me not to do it. Now, if they yell at me, they yell at me. So I've been using it quite a bit. And I used it lots here on the beach. And all the kids loved it. Some of the kids were scared of it. Some of the kids came over and loved it. But I'm starting to enjoy the drone, the GoPro footage. I'm getting used to that. I'm looking for some more different spots on my bike to try to put the cameras. But with those YouTube videos, I don't know how these girls do it. And the men that do it. It's a lot of work. It takes me 2 to 3 days
Yeah.
to first of all, I got to go through all the GoPro footage. Then I got to kind of put it in order. Then, you know, that's a whole day lost right there. Then the next day it's whether you need filters or delete some or add music or add texting or the volumes. It's easily 2 days. And that's 2 days that I could just be sitting on the beach drinking beer or doing, doing nothing.
Yeah.
But again, I know a lot of the people that are out there, they're doing it. It's their job. They've made it this job. They have to make money. I just do it when I feel like it. Like, honestly, I try to do one at least once a month. But I have to be in that mood to do that.
I'm the same way.
Yes.
And it's a mindset. There's days when I can sit here and I can plow through video hour after hour, edit after edit, and just enjoy the heck out of it. And then there are days when I just don't care.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Because I know it's always just getting started for me. I think, I don't think I have any good enough footage to make a video. But then when I start going through it, then I get excited. It's just that initial just start, right? Just get started. And it's like anything, writing a magazine article. I put it off, and then 24 hours before it's due, I start. I just have to make myself start. I procrastinate too much.
Now, how's the following? Are you growing numbers with people that are following your Instagram and Facebook?
Yes. Instagram's really took off there. I had a ride with the Motorrad Angels, and they shared some of my photos. Instagram is really gotten pretty good. Facebook is pretty much the same. And I think it's going to be different now because everything's opening up. Summer's come, more people are going to be out riding and doing their own thing. So in the summertime, sometimes the followers, they don't drop off, but you don't get the dopamine dot likes that you get on every time you hear that ding.
Yeah, they're getting the dopamine on the beach.
Exactly. But no, everything's really, really good. Yeah, I have no complaints right now. It's just, life is really good on the road.
All right. So you've been in Colombia how many months now?
So I came back here in December. So I was 6 months, just over 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've traveled around in Colombia. You've hit a lot of the different regions within there.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite, and what's your favorite food so far?
Oh, so my favorite foods, I think, are the breakfast foods. There's a soup called changua that is, in some regions, it's considered to be the poor person's soup, but it's milk soup with poached eggs and chunks of bread and cilantro and bits of cheese in it. And it's for breakfast. And then here on the Caribbean side, I love that stuff. Here on the Caribbean, every morning for breakfast, I have this arepa, which is like a flatbread that's been split in the middle. They shove a cooked egg in there and they deep fry it and they serve it with cheese. And I just love it. It's amazing. Yes. But for other food, yeah, in Colombia is a lot of chicken. When you get to the coast, of course, a lot of fish. I love seafood. I've been to a couple of really good beef places. They're few and far between, unless you hit the big cities. I was told it's because when they kill the cows here in Colombia, they don't let the meat age like we do. They don't hang it because they usually have to eat it right away. But I've had some really good beef, but chicken is the most popular here, I think. But my favorite foods, I'd have to say, are breakfast foods. Oh, and the fruits here. The fruits in Colombia are unbelievable. I can't even remember the names of all of them. They're long names, but I eat like 2 or 3 different types of fruits that are unheard of in North America because they don't even ship them to the stores there. But yeah, just some amazing fruit. And the price of food, of course, is so inexpensive down here. It's so cheap. I don't know. We just get so ripped off in North America.
Yeah. So favorite beverage?
Well, there's a lot of Chilean wine down here, and it's really cheap. So I find when I'm on the beach here this week, I've been drinking Aguila Light or Aguila, or one of their beers here. But when I'm in the mountains and it's cooler, I tend to drink the Chilean wine. I've tried some Colombian wine. I didn't like it, but the Chilean wine here is super cheap. But yeah, and then they've got, what else I got here? They've got hot chocolate that you put a chunk of cheese in. It sounds gross, but it's really good. I can't remember what they call it. Yeah, they give you a chunk of cheese and you let it melt into your hot chocolate. And
yeah, well, what kind of cheese?
It's like a I don't know what they call the cheese here, but it almost looks like a chunk of feta. It's quite salty.
Yeah, it's the white
Crumble
Blanco
apart.
queso. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. But it's really good. I think that's about it. And the coffee here is phenomenal.
I've never thought about
I was
cheese.
gonna say you got to talk about the coffee.
Coffee. When I went back to Canada last year, I took like 5 bags of coffee from the coffee region where I was staying, and I didn't share it with anybody. If people came over, they had instant coffee at my house. I didn't share that with anybody.
Oh man, that's priceless.
It's so good. It's so good. The coffee here. Amazing. Yeah.
So as we wrap up here, we got a couple minutes left. I'm curious as to, now that you've ridden a lot of the regions within Colombia, what's your favorite part? Is it up in the mountains? Is it down on the coast? What's your favorite ride so far in Colombia?
Oh, I've had quite a few. I really, really love riding the mountains. And I have to say that because riding the coast here is beautiful, but it is so hot with all of your gear on. And the roads have a tendency to be more straight. You're out of the Andes now, you're just flat land. So riding in the mountains is absolutely my favorite. The temperatures are much nicer. The weather can be more unpredictable, and the roads are just so twisting and winding, and you never know what you're going to get. Some roads are washed out or closed. You end up taking these crazy dirt back roads. I have tried to get to the Nevado del Ruiz, which is the big volcano in Colombia, and that's where my idle switch went. So I'm going to try to go back there. There's a special route that a friend told me that, I don't know, it's all back roads just zigging up towards the top of the volcano. I don't know how far I can get, but I want to try that. I would say definitely the mountains, because the temperature is much more comfortable.
Now, are they paved or gravel up there?
Majority of them are paved, but there's a lot of hard packed dirt, baby head boulder roads. The main roads are all paved, but when I went to the desert back in January, whatever it was, the road to get there was it was out of my comfort zone. It was crazy. It was baby head boulders, and like parts of the road were missing, and yeah, it was but I did it. It was good. So you can have whatever you want. I don't know if you can hear the babies crying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
we hear that.
Yeah. Anyway, not mine.
From Spanish to English real easily.
Yeah,
Don't need a
that
class for
translates.
that one.
Universal translation.
Exactly.
Now, is your daughter planning to come visit you in between, maybe over the summer or anything?
Well, we still got this quarantine thing, so I don't know what she's going to do. She's only gotten her first shot for the vaccine. She just graduated university. Sadly, there's no graduation ceremony, not even online.
Oh, wow.
So she's in the midst of trying to get her career kickstarted. So I don't know if she can come down. We kind of talked about Christmas. Either if she can't come down here, I'll definitely by Christmas time I hope things have calmed down. By Christmas, I can go back to Canada, spend some time.
Hey,
But
we said this in the last episode. If she's listening, this is the best time to go down there and just take a few months, take a half a year, and
before you start working,
hang out with your mom.
I know.
Hey, your mom seems to have some contacts with some garages. Maybe she can get a sidecar built onto her GS, and then the two of you can go out with a sidecar and go tackle all these side mountains and side roads and make it up to the top of the volcano.
There you go.
Oh my God, that would be so cool. Well, I was worried when I came to the town I'm in now, Rincon, because somebody said, no, the roads are all sand. So I almost didn't come for that reason. Sometimes it's best not to know what I'm getting myself into, but it's all hard packed sand. It's been, the roads are fine. But yeah, it's like a little village, and it's all hard packed sand. Even the beaches are pretty hard packed. But no, it's a beautiful little town. She could come down here and hang out with me for a while. We could do all the coast of the Caribbean. And We'll see. We'll see. I'll try to talk her into it again.
Well, Tracy, thanks so much for taking some time to visit with us. Jack Reapy's episode will be coming up after yours, so stay tuned for that. It is,
Okay.
and we're probably going
I
to
can't
have him
wait.
on as a regular once a month. He really enjoyed it, and so
Oh, perfect. He's such a great guy. And I know he's really upset right now. So Jack, if you're listening to this, he's really upset that he can't make it to the national rally this coming weekend.
Yeah.
A lot of people are. It's sad that the Canadian border doesn't open.
yeah, a lot of people have talked about that, and I was gonna go, and then I didn't go because I was gonna go to Alaska, and that got planned. Those plans got changed, and
I know.
now I'm like, I could be on my way to Montana, but it's all gonna work out in the end. So
Whatever's meant to be is going to be, right?
yeah,
For
Hey,
sure.
exactly.
We're going to Isle of Man next year. Let me just remind you, we're putting all of that off to go to
Ooh.
Isle of Man next year.
That
That's true.
will be exciting.
Yeah,
Tracy, you need to ride around and meet us there.
Okay. Oh, I could do that.
yeah. Get
Yeah.
that thing on a boat and bring it over there, man.
That could work.
Bring it
Your
up.
first European stop, you just meet us for the Isle of Man, and we'll do an episode of Fuel
Take
Stop
off from
Chats
there.
live from there.
Yeah, that could work. Never say never.
I'm not
Never.
saying never.
I absolutely
eventually
love
they're
to
gonna-
share.
Well, eventually they're going to kick me out of South America. You know, I'll have used up all my tourist visas around, and I'm going to have to find somewhere else to go. Yeah, who knows? We will keep in touch for sure. And thank you
Absolutely.
guys for having me again. It's like I'm talking to two old friends. I love it.
We love having you
Pleasure.
on. Love following you on Instagram and Facebook and staying in touch. And thank you so much for
guys.
taking the time to tap in and give us an update on how things are going.
Yeah. Oh, you broke up on me. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. Hey, just real quick before we say rider out, how about remind the listeners where we can follow you at?
Okay, so you can follow me on Instagram at TLC_travels. And on Facebook, it's Tracy Charles. And my YouTube channel is Tracy Lynn Charles, TracyLynn, and then Charles. Yeah, so if you could follow me, I would really, really appreciate that. That would be awesome.
Yep, follow her and send her care packages. She likes
Yeah.
seeing
Oh.
care packages.
Yeah, I need some Clamato juice from Canada. I need some more.
Give us
I
a
need-
list.
Give us a list.
I need good deodorant. They don't have good deodorant down here. Even the locals agree.
wow.
They just, the deodorant down here is, even though it says like, you know, Lady Speed Stick, it's not Lady Speed Stick. It's, yeah, yeah, it's just not, it just doesn't work.
My last bus ride said it's no good.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's
All right.
awesome. We'll have to get some stuff together for you and ship it down there.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, guys.
Well, thank you again so much. Really enjoyed
No
it.
problem.
Thanks,
Thank you
Tracy.
so much. Okay, take care. Bye, guys.
See
Rider
ya.
out.
Okay.
Rider out.
Bye.